Hey beautiful souls, Hannah here. I'm doing some readings today. So I'm also taking a massive risk by standing outside here because it's like so beautiful and still, and then this big gust of wind comes and then it's so beautiful and still. So I'm trusting that you will be able to hear me, and if it ever gets too windy, I trust you'll let me know. But it's like beautiful and calm, and then a big gust of wind comes in. So we're going to try it because there's absolutely beautiful weather out here today. So say hi when you're here. Let me know where you're from. If this is the first time to my live stream, or give me some love hearts if you're a regular here and you love reality awareness and that's why you're here. So we're going to do some psychic readings today, and I'm hoping that, hang on, sorting out my little space here. Yes, the comments are showing. Awesome. Because sometimes the comments don't come up on my phone, and I was hoping so because I'm outside. So let me, hi Katrina, hi Nikki, hi from Melbourne, Maria, lovely to have you here, first time here. Hi, is it Elizabeth? Beautiful name. Hi Julie, lovely to have you here guys. All right, so I'll just share this live stream and then we should start the psychic readings. Haven't done psychic readings for a bit. Okay, you're gonna have to mind me. There's animals everywhere. There's cats everywhere because I've got so many cats. And then there's Jasmine over there, and I purposely put the dogs in the like just put. I was like, I can't handle the cats and the dogs and everything running around. So that's just gonna have to be it. Now, I'm just trying to bring this up because it's quitting out of it. Wait a sec. Wait on a minute. So hopefully the cats won't come like bolting over when they're running around with each other. So who knows how many cats that I have? Give me some intuitive guesses. I know some people might know, but let me know who knows how many cats I have. So funny. Yeah, I am like the crazy cat lady, and I'm owning it, right? The crazy psychic cat lady, that's the one. Okay, finally it's letting me share it at 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Let me grab into this. Perfect. 13. Hang on, let me double check. No, not 13. Almost 13. Thank you. I love my tattoos too. Lucky, huh? 12, 8, 3. Keep going, guys. Share this one more place. All right, I think I shared it to the right places. 20. Close. And no joke. Nah, it's not that many. And now I'm going to have to double check my count. All right, cool. I shared it in the right places. Phone is down and done. So I have 6 cats, and then we just had another litter. That was not planned, not what I wanted. So we've technically got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The number 11. We've got 11 cats. This is one of them. This is Milo. Hey Milo. Oh, you don't want to be on camera. Sorry, I didn't ask you. Just picked you up. So we got a lot of cats, right? Oh, you've got 6. Yeah, well, I had 2, and then they had a litter. Well, that wasn't planned either, but I kept them all. And then there's a whole long story. We've had another litter, and now I'm like, do I keep them? I'm like, it's a lot of work with 6 cats already, and everything else. Yeah, beautiful. Love all these guesses here. Intuitive picks they are. Candy from New Zealand. Beautiful. Oh, you were going to guess 11. Right on the money. Yes, my tattoos on my fingers as well. Both sides. My snake, of course. You've probably seen that. All right. Just checking these comments here. So, Nikki, lovely to meet you. All right, hi Leah, hi Chris, Tara Lee's here, Jody, Natasha's from Vancouver, and Tara from Yapoon, beautiful, and Aaron, and KA, First timer from Sydney. Yay, Sydneyites. It's beautiful to have you here. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Hi, Alina. Likewise. Yeah. Oh, you hadn't seen? Yeah, I got my snake and I got my other tattoo on my back. When I had my face done, I was like, I'm done. I'm done with tattoos. Even though I really wanted my dragon on my back, but I haven't. I was like, I just got this. And then I was like, I'm done. And one of my students in Trust Intuition, she's like, Hannah, you're not done. And I'm like, yeah, I am. And now I'm like, time's gone on and I'm like, yeah, no, maybe I can still get more. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Natasha just found one of my lives recently. Yes, awesome. All right, so psychic readings. Obviously, I won't be able to get to everybody on this live stream. However, I do my best. And number one thing I want to say is that if anybody starts commenting and says like, please like message my inbox for a free reading, like that is not me. That is just a scammer. You can delete the comment, report it, block it, all those things. Please know that I will never message you saying, hey, pay here for my psychic reading, give me your credit card details. Like I will never ever do that. Okay, so if you get anyone doing that, or any other person imitating reality awareness, or if reality awareness has contacted you and asked that, that is not me, because I have had people fake create my account and copy it and just no. So please know that if you ever get that, I will never message you unless you've messaged me first, or unless you've dropped a heart below in the comments to have the details for Transcendence Reality Society, and then we will message you, which by the way, Transcendence Reality Society enrollments are open. So if you've already put a heart in my comments in any of the videos or posts that I've put up over the last 2 weeks, you may already have a message from me or my team sitting in your inbox in your messenger. If you don't see it there, it might be in your message request folder, so make sure you go and check that out as well. So if you haven't got the details for Transcendence Reality Society and you would like to be in on that, please comment a heart below, or you can write Transcendence or Reality below and we shall send you the details, because enrollments are open and I'm really excited about that, because right now the energies are really strong. Coming into next week, the 21st of April, is a pivotal turning point. There's a lot of light frequency energy. I've been talking about that in my blogs coming through. Some people are like wiped energetically from it. This is a real big upgrade to our system, and it is based in this platinum light. So when, you know, we're able to embody this light, we raise our frequency, this is how we change the world. This is how we step the world out of the chaos that everybody is experiencing, and somewhat quite traumatic for a lot of people. By enabling us to embody this level of light, we transcend reality and are able to hold that new earth frequency, or that earth frequency that's based in the heart, that we all relate to each other from the heart, within the heart. We're shifting the entire consciousness, yeah? So put a heart below, or put Transcendence Reality Society. So I just commented there. This is my 12-month elite program. So put a heart in the comments below if you'd like the details. My team or myself will send the details out to you. And yeah, I'm really excited because enrollment opened on Monday, and I was like this big shift of energy and like new people on my team, and I was like yes. And I had my team in the meeting this morning, so we're like super clear and we're like ready to like send you the messages. Hello, I see all you beautiful people sending hellos, and I'm here and from Maryland. Beautiful, yes. Hi Abby and Tabitha. Beautiful surroundings, yes. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my home. Hello from Calgary, yes. Beautiful. All right. Okay, so got that out of the road. Make sure, remember, if anybody says, please inbox me for a reading, please report the comment, block it. It is not me. And I will never send you a message saying, here, give me your credit card details and I'll give you a reading. Just no. Just no. So on this live stream, psychic readings. Hi, Caroline. Where's home? So I'm in Queensland, Australia. I'm in the Noosa hinterland. It's about an hour, 2 hours north of Brisbane. So yeah, if you've heard of Noosa on the Sunshine Coast, that's where I am inland, in the hinterland, the beautiful hinterland. Although the snakes and the bugs are a bit, and I'm still adjusting to that. All right, so psychic readings. So the way that I do the psychic readings is I'm going to say to you now, can you please type in the comments, yes please Hannah, or yes please, or reading please, and we'll create this big list here of all the yes pleases, yeah? And then I intuitively scroll through the list and choose somebody to read. Sometimes I read 2 or 3 people at the same time. And there's only one rule: you have to stay on the live stream for me to read you, because otherwise if you jump off the live stream, and it's not fair to the other people that are on the live stream. So I'll just wait for those yeses to come through, seeing them coming through, but I know there's a lot of you here. Okay. And I am taking a risk doing a live stream outside because there's like beautiful still air and then there's wind. So if it gets too windy, let me know and I'll put my earphones in. It seems to come and then it goes. So, all right. So let me check these. All right. Lots of yeses coming. Okay, and it's really important that when I do start reading, you listen carefully, of course, because there's always messages in it for everyone. Yeah, so if you listen carefully, there'll be messages too. All right, so as stars bolts across the grass. All right, so Christina Holloway and Chris Pix. I'm going to read you both at the same time. So that is Christina Holloway and Chris Pix. Chris Pix. What's wrong? What is it, baby? Okay, Chris Pix. Oh my goodness, I didn't turn this around. You guys can't see it properly. Chris Pix is taking a risk. Let me just bring this back up. Okay, there we go. Now you can see it. Worried out of all this space, what's the bet? The cats are going to bolt over together and then bowl over the live stream. All right, so Chris, risk. And was it Katrina? Is that who I said? Christina, sorry. Christina Holloway and Chris Pix. So Chris, risk. Check out that path. And on this card, it's kind of like, I don't know if you can see the arrows. It's like you're at a choice point. You've got a direction, you've got a choice to make, of course, right? You're at a choice point, and I feel like, this is going to sound a little bit, the most riskiest choice is the right one for you. The one where you are questioning your heart, the one where you're, like your heart knows, and your mind is like, I'm not sure. Yeah? You're like, yes. And then you're like, but, right? Now, I have a feeling this has to do with a relationship. I'm not sure. Are you in a relationship, Chris? I'll wait to hear back from you with that. Yes, closely matching letters. Yeah, I reckon, right? And so, oh, Lady of the Lake. Did I say... Oh my goodness, how's my name? Memory is not good. People who know me, I know your energy. Christina, Lady of the Lake. It's interesting, this is the deck of the cards cover. Lady of the Lake, absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. So, Lady of the Lake for Christina. And Chris says that she is in a relationship. Now, I always get nervous to say this stuff. So, this particular one, because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like the most riskiest choice is the right one. And this one is deeply embedded in your heart. And it's got to do with a relationship. I feel like usually it's kind of like, so here we go. Here's these things. Let me just... block. There we go. Perfect. You know, like with a relationship, it's usually like, okay, leave the relationship. But for you, Chris, I feel like there's a strong message coming through. Like, you need to trust your heart on this one. You know, and I'm wondering, like, do you feel like this person is the one, or are you in a rough patch that you like have to leave? Because I'm not really getting that message. It makes me wonder. It feels like that this relationship is pushing the boundaries for you. It's pushing you outside your comfort zone and everything that you are, sort of asking for in a relationship. But it feels like you are doubting. It's almost like you're doubting what feels good, right? And I feel like you have come into a place where you've done a lot of work, and you are coming into a place where you know that you can work through things. I'm getting covered in goosebumps as I say this. Now I pulled another card, and it's the Bard, right? It's the music, the poetry, the myth, the history, the enchantment of storytelling. And I feel like what are the stories that you're telling yourself, right? And this is where I was like, your heart knows, but your mind is like, yeah. And so the mind and the stories, it's kind of like, can you work to release the old stories and just have the clean slate to be able to follow your heart in this situation, right? And the risk that you take is, is about following your heart, yeah? So pushing boundaries majorly. So when it is, it's obviously like, don't stay in an unhealthy situation, of course, right? But I feel like this is something that you're pushing through. I feel like this is releasing the stories that you're telling yourself about the situation. And I feel like this is a point in time where it is a big transformation. And it's, when it says like make or break, but it's like the risk you take for following your heart. Now it's interesting, I just pulled another card, and it's burden. So I need to ask you then, because I'm tuning in and I'm like, is this, are you questioning leaving the relationship? Is that something that you're like, I don't think that I can continue handling this? It feels like a burden, right? And this makes me wonder then, because you're, and I know this card is for Christina, but I also feel for you, and this is why I read two people at once, because it's always very similar in a way, similar messages, that you've risen to this. You've risen and you've done a lot of work. You've come into a very empowered place. And I feel like where the risk is kind of like, well, this is a risk I'm taking. I've stepped up to this. I've come into this point. So, what is this going to shift? Is it going to go in this, space? Is it going to go in this? Is it going to work? In a way, like I've risen, I've stepped up, I've moved into this. So is it, and I keep getting the message for you, Chris, to wait. Just wait. Yeah, just hang on a sec. Just take a breather. Yeah. You're finishing it and hard to let go of past mistakes. Yeah. Okay. And so this is like the following the heart, the reading. Yeah. So you're finding it or finishing it? You're finding it hard. Oh, you're finding it hard to let go of past mistakes. Yeah. And so like, is that the past mistakes that you've made or that they've made? I'm curious about that. So Christina Holloway, Christina, the Lady of the Lake for you. I'm curious, like, have you just had a spiritual awakening? Have you just had a big shift? Have you just come into a place of, deep empowerment? And I'm wondering if you're feeling confident in your newfound gift. Are you feeling confident in your new, area of life? Like, it feels like there's something new that has come in for you. And it feels like there's a, it's like interesting because you're getting the doubt as well that I was picking up for Chris picks, yes, for Chris. So Chris and Christina, why didn't I even notice that before? Oh my goodness. Katrina, no, it's not Katrina. Oh my goodness, these names think this is not good, Hannah. This is not I was gonna say, this is not working with the way that you're remembering these names. No. Okay. So, I need to check these names. Christina Holloway and Chris. They're both Chris's. Okay. I didn't even recognize that. Is that what you were saying before? Because I thought it was like Risk and Chris that you were referring to. Oh, okay. So, I'll ask for another round of yes pleases soon, but not yet. I haven't finished these readings. First. Okay, so Christina says, don't feel I'm good enough. Okay. All right, so with Chris, I'll just finish this one off now. And that's interesting with that. So you said, Chris, mistakes they've made. And this is where That makes sense now. It's like you're like, yeah. And that, I feel, is the burden. Yeah? The undertone is the burden. What are the stories that we're telling ourselves about that situation? Is that you're making excuses? And I feel like the finding it hard to let go of past mistakes they've made is, there's a process that you can do. Okay, and before I share that, the message that I just got then is, the bottom card is the cow. Nourishment, abundance, asking and receiving. Now, with the abundance and nourishment, yeah, the nourishment is the big one, as Mr. This is, oh my goodness, is this Bear or Toby? I think this is Bear. Hi, Bear. We need to get collars for them because like 4 of them are black. Hi. So the nourishment, yeah, the nourishment, and the cat is self-love. So Chris, for you, it's this, you know, when you say you're finding it hard to let go of mistakes they've made, number one, have you cried enough about it? Okay, because I feel like this burden piece is a big part of the grief that's sitting there. Sometimes we don't let ourselves cry enough about it, or that we're that hurt, or that they were that betrayed, or whatever that happened. And when we can't let go, it's because we haven't grieved enough, right? And I feel like that's what a big piece of this is, yeah? The other piece about that, and getting clear about the decisions you make about moving forward, finding it hard to let go of mistakes that they've made, that comes into, number one, what do you really value? Yeah, what do you value in relationship? Communication, honesty, you know, all of that sort of thing, right? You know, you will know what you value, right? The question is, have I cried enough? If the answer is yes, right, you'll be clearer to make the decision about, okay, these are the things that I really value in a relationship. Is this relationship meeting those values? Am I in alignment with those values in relationship? Yeah? Has this relationship shifted, changed, evolved, and being in this space with me to the level, which, like I said, Chris picks that this was for Christina. This was for Christina, but this is where you, Chris, picks, get to come in and decide, okay, these are the values, this is who I am. Is this relationship worthy of what I value? And is it meeting the needs of who I am now? Because I feel like you have evolved, Chris. I feel like you have stepped up, you have shifted something, and you've come into this empowered place. And it's almost like the stories with the bard is that not just the old stories that we've been telling ourselves and all of that that's playing out, wherever the card is, but it's also, you've left that old paradigm of the old, not just stories of who you are, but like you've outgrown them, if that makes sense, right? You've outgrown them, and now you're like finding it hard to let go, not only just because of the grief and maybe you like actually value honesty or whatever's happened in the relationship, right? But on top of that, you've also risen into this. And I feel like that's where the double, triple burden is coming from, if that makes sense, right? So, and it's interesting, I kept getting the message to wait. It's just wait, which I imagine you probably are, right? In my Clear and Activate pack, I'm not sure if you have it. So my Clear and Activate pack is a free meditation pack. It is on my website, realityawareness.com. And if it's the first thing you see on this, scroll down the page, the Clear and Activate pack, it's a pink button. If you go in there, and maybe you already have it, but there's a shadow meditation in there. And you can work with the shadow meditation on a daily basis. So, you know, in that pack, there's lots of meditations. There's a few of them. And there's healing protocols that I give in there. And those healing protocols, you know, there's a few in there you can go through and you can work through them and you can use them for different situations. So, for example, for this situation, you could use the shadow meditation for, say, the next month. Okay, I'm just giving you a random date. You pick a date that feels right for you. And you pick, say, 30 days, and Monday to Friday, you do the shadow meditation every day. And you come out of that meditation, you write down the messages, even if it doesn't make sense. And you do that from Monday to Friday for 30 days, like over a month, right? And you have the weekend off because we need those reality integration breaks, okay? You do that for a month, and you will really start to get clear on what's going on in your psyche, on what's going on with the old part of you, on what's going on with the new priestess part of you that you've risen into, on, you know, the way that it feels like a burden because you've outgrown because of all these other different factors that have come into it, not just the actual thing that's happened in the relationship itself. And it's like, you know, that shadow meditation will deeply show you your values, show you what nourishes you, show you what's in alignment for you. And then you can make a choice from your highest priestess self to be able to make a clear decisional choice, right? Decisional, I just made that up, right? So you'll be able to make that choice from a clear perspective. Do I stay? Do I go? Right? And being able to work into, you know, a clear decision in your heart. Like the risk is leaving without doing the work first, right? When people come to me and they're like, do I stay in this relationship or do I go? And I'm like, okay, let's just do a chunk of inner work first, because maybe you already know, right? Maybe you already know. And sometimes we already know, but so if we do this chunk of inner work and then we can make a decision at the end of it, we just leave that decision to the side for a moment, do this inner work. You can use a 7-day period, a 30-day period, whatever feels good for you. The most important thing is to write down the messages when you come out of the meditation. Like, I didn't get any messages, Hannah, or like there was like, I don't know, I felt like a bit warm in my body, or maybe had these like full-on visions and all these messages come through. Like, you know, there's no right or wrong, but what's important is you write everything down. Yeah. So that's what I'd recommend to do, because you have come into this more empowered place. This is really enabling you to like make that clear decision, right? And the thing that happens when we do that inner work and we commit to a certain period of time like that is that, number one, we can leave knowing that we've done it all, right? Like we've done all we can. The other thing that happens over that 30-day period while you're doing your inner work is the relationship can shift, evolve, and move forward in ways that you don't even have to do anything. So by you doing the inner work, especially shadow work, and of course there's other stuff we can do in that space, right? And there is a few meditations in that healing pack, in the Clear and Activate pack, sorry. So you can go in there and, you know, if you go through the videos, and I've got a PDF of all the different healing protocols you can go through. You know, you can... because you're working out your inner world, your external world shifts naturally, right? And so when it shifts around you, sometimes the decisions happen for you, right? Sometimes it gets better because you're shifting all the stuff and the doubt and everything within you, and then that naturally shifts the outside situation all by itself, as if by magic, right? So yeah, so that will maybe help you there. Yeah, because now you know, we've gone through all that. It's almost like the risk you take is not honoring your heart. The risk you take is not being true to your values. The risk you take is not honoring your priestess path in a way. Yeah. So yeah. Yes, that's right. I am not wearing a dress. Hi, Julie. Yes, so the shadow meditation you can find in my Clear and Activate pack. So if you type in realityawareness.com into your URL, and it's the first thing that comes up on the page, you can, you know, click on the pink button and it'll take you to the Clear and Activate pack. Then you'll receive an email. You can log in on the members section of my website and you can go in, there's video training, you can download the MP3 in there, and then you can start using that. So I recommend downloading like the MP3s and creating a playlist in your phone, so you've got all my reality awareness meditations in there. There's also my free essentials meditation pack, but I'd just start with the shadow meditation and go through that process first, specifically for your situation there. So yeah, you're so welcome, Chris. It's so welcome. Okay, so Christina Holloway. Look, I remembered. I remembered. Now I'm going to try and find that comment. Lisa says, you know, have no idea how much I need advice from beyond. Hopefully this is starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So Christina, you said you're about to start holding space in doing circles. I need to trust in myself. Do you know what? You are trusting yourself because you're stepping up and doing this. And this is so freaking excited. I'm so excited hearing this. That's where I started. I started doing angel circles back in, what would have been 2006, I reckon I started doing them at my home, and yeah, the singing bowls and all the cards. I freaking love that stuff. And now I'm online and I can't wait to start doing that stuff in person again. So yes. All right. So I'm going to finish talking to Christina because I was doing two people at once, but we went more into Chris, and that was obviously meant to be. But the lady of the lake was super important, right? And so this makes sense, Christy, you know, when you said that you're starting to do circles, I was like, yes, like check out this priestess woman, right? Being able to really stand up into, you know, your priestess power and enabling to hold the space for this, you know, like this, for people to awaken ultimately. That's what we're doing, right? And to connect, yeah, to connect. So when you say, you know, you need to trust yourself, right? It's like, yeah, trust yourself, and I trust you'll let me know if it gets too windy, right? So the wind's picking up again. So trusting yourself, and the thing that I always say, and I teach this in my mentorships and in Transcendence Reality Society, by the way, is that the way that we get shown the next step to do, the way that we trust ourselves is we do it. Yeah, there's no other faster way to build your trust muscle than to step up and do the thing, right? So fear of judgment, okay, perfect. Is that from like friends and family, or is that from the people that will be at the circle? I'd be really curious about that, Christina. Because the fastest way, like I said, to build the trust muscle is just to do the thing. Now, that does not mean that you will never get nervous. That does not mean that you won't be scared at some times. Like if I haven't done a live stream for a while, I get nervous to come on live stream, right? Like it's the thing. I'm like, why am I so nervous right now, right? So when, you know, we step up and do the thing for the first time, like it's just step up and do it is what shifts the nerves, you know, and you can even voice and say like, hey, I'm a bit nervous right now, right? You know, but I'm here, and you know, and the thing with trusting yourself is that, like I said, you're already trusting yourself because you're doing it. Yeah, you're stepping up to start doing it. Now, the other piece about that is when we start talking, and maybe you already know this, but as soon as we get up and start talking, doing our things, circles, live stream, whatever it is, those messages come through. You know, when you're like talking to a friend or talking to, you know, a client or something, and you're just like, did I just say that? Or you're on live stream and you're like, did I just say that? Like, where did that come from? Like, that was awesome, right? Fake it till you make it. Feel as though I'm a fraud. Okay, I don't believe in faking it till you make it. I'm like, be real until you feel confident, right? It's like, no, we don't want to fake it till you make it. It's like, be real. Is that wind really strong now? Because it feels like it's coming through the valley and it's picking up. So yeah, be real. And that's why I said, you know, and if you I haven't felt that nervous for a little while, but on, you know, some of my live streams sometimes, and the first thing I'll do, I'll be like, I'm really nervous today. Okay. And it's like, as soon as you say it, it shifts it. And so I'm all for being real with people. Yeah. Like it's, I feel like it's much more, I don't know if people relate to anyone really that they want to relate to, but it's just, if this is the first time that you're stepping up to do a circle, you're going to feel all those things. Okay. And when I asked you, is this judgment from friends, family, or the people at the circle? And you said, in my own head, this is awesome, right? In a sense, because so interesting. I was reading you and Chris Picks at the same time, and Chris, you know, is talking about the stories in your head. This is like the stories in your head about, you know, the fear of the own judgment. Now, the first time you step up and do it is the hardest time, right? The first time you step up and do it is always the hardest time for your, you know, like the nerves, all the doubts, all the fears, like everything is going to surface, especially on that first time, right? Okay, so hopefully that is a bit better on the wind side, and if not, I will move to somewhere it's not so windy. So I'll trust if you just let me know when it is getting a bit, oh my god. Oh my god, what was that? I'm so sorry, mate. I didn't mean to hurt you. Sorry, guys. I'm like in the country. Just bear with me. There's something fucking crawling on my leg. I'm in the hinterland. I'm still getting used to it. I used to live next to the ocean, but I've been here like 7 months now, and I'm like, mate, I hope I didn't. Oh my god. Okay, he's there. Do you know what was crawling on my leg? It was a praying mantis. Okay. I was like thinking, because I could feel something on my leg, but I was thinking it was like the long grass down there, but there's no long grass here, but just straight away that's what I thought. And I was like, oh, but it's like, oh, it's itchy. And I'm like, man, what the fuck was that? I hope I didn't hurt you, mates. Okay, it's alright. I'm getting my footing again. I don't think I hurt him. He's pretty big. It's like this big. So anyway, okay. Alright. See how real this is? Maybe I'm giving... Maybe the praying mantis is showing how much you can just be real. So praying mantis is all about the connection to spirit, right? And whatever happens in the space is meant to be, yeah? And it's all a message, right? So that deep connection and the fear and the judgment and everything is really you coming into your power. But the fear and the judgment, so that's what I was talking about before I got distracted with the, connection to the real stuff. The bard is the storyteller, and the stories are telling in our mind. Now, it was interesting, I gave that example to Chris Picks for using the shadow meditation in in working through that decision, right, over the 30 days. So whenever a fear comes up, you can use the shadow meditation and you talk to that fear. So you go into that shadow meditation and being able to, go with the intention, like before you press play on the meditation, you're like, okay, I want the intention to shift this fear of my judgment or whatever it is, right? I'll just say the fear. And literally the fear will turn up and it'll be like a person, or it'll be it'll look like a blob or an energy or whatever, you'll see it in the meditation. Trust whatever it is, that's what's representing your fear. It could be a person from your childhood, right? And that's where the fear came in from, sort of thing, yeah? What was I going to say? So I definitely recommend, Christina, for you to do the shadow process, the shadow meditation. Like I said, it's if you go to www.realityawareness.com, go to realityawareness.com. And if you scroll down, you'll see it right there. It's the pink button. It's the Clear and Activate pack. And if you go into the, exchange your name and email, and then you'll get a login. You can log in to the members area, and there's training videos in there. You can download the MP3, put it on, your playlist on your phone, like have a reality awareness playlist, because there's lots of meditations that I have. And work with that. And so for a little bit of differentiation in that healing protocol between Chris Picks and you, Christina, is that because you've got a fear of this judgment of stepping up to those circles, right? And I'd be curious, have you started advertising for it? Have you already put yourself out there, or you're just about to start doing all that as well? If you can just let me know. So you could do it just once, and that might shift it, and that'll be just there, right? Otherwise, what I always say is you can do it 3 times. That special number 3. Do it 3 times. So not back to back unless it calls you, but do it every day for 3 days. You could do it like that. You could also do it like every day for a week, or just a couple of days. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different healing protocols, and I do have like lots of different options and different healing protocols in that Clear and Activate pack. So go and check that out. Use that. And if you do any of my meditations at any time, any of you, and you've got questions, or you want to share, like you had this vision, you don't understand it, or I'm really sensitive now, what do I do? Because this is what happens when we strengthen our psychic abilities, right? Is come and post in the Reality Awareness Facebook support group. Yeah, so if you're not in there, that is my support group to support your spiritual awakening and all the questions and everything that you need in that space. And by the way, a little side note, I'm really excited to start doing free psychic development classes in there from next month. So send me a message if you do not have access to the Reality Awareness Facebook support group. It's free. There's a whole tribe of us in there. You post in the group, I'll jump in there, my team will jump in there, everyone else will share as well, to support you with your spiritual awakening and being able to decipher your intuition with the clarity and understanding, what your, how to understand the visions, or how, when you have do a meditation, a guided meditation, and you see all these colors, or you get a feeling in your shoulder and you're like, I don't know what that is, come and post in the group, because then we can help you decipher it. Yeah, because I'm really, really passionate about teaching you to amplify, strengthen your intuition so that you can decipher it, because the biggest thing on the planet right now, right, the biggest thing is that people are not confident in their gift, or they're in fear of authority or anything like that, and that's a fear of their own power. Yeah, it's a fear of their own power, and we've been raised as a society to fear our own power, and that starts with trusting our own intuition, right? It does. A lot of people don't trust their intuition because they're taught from a really young age that our feelings are not valid, and no, we're not understanding the truth because the parents are ashamed of that we're picking up the truth. Like, there's so many variations here, but the long story short is I'm passionate about supporting you in your spiritual awakening, in understanding, deciphering messages, all of that. So please use that group, and you can type in the Facebook search bar Reality Awareness Support Group and it will come up as well, or just send me a message and ask for it, or comment on this live stream and ask to be added to the group. So you said that you haven't started advertising for it yet. The bell tent arrived yesterday. That's so exciting. Oh my God. So the biggest thing I want to say to you is once you start, don't stop. And I know you probably will do that, right? You'll just keep going. But it's like the biggest thing is sometimes we'll get like one person, we're like, oh, I'm not meant to do this. And I'm like, man, I did not have my following when I began either, right? So it's like consistency is key with your advertising, with sharing your message, with sharing your heart, with holding the space, like all of that, right? So use the shadow meditation, and I'm getting for you, Christina, that you might only need to do it once or 3 times, the shadow meditation, and see how you go, because that might just shift it enough. But at the same time, you can just step into doing it, right? You just step into doing it too, and that shifts the fears. And then the next time you might have a bit of fear, but you just keep doing it anyway. Yes, the Reality Awareness Support Group. Thanks, Abby. So my team might come back, or I'll come back, and I know my team will come back and answer those comments for you and put the link on the group there, yeah? Okay, so the other thing, and what I want to say to finish this for you, Christina, is that the other differentiation in the healing protocol for you compared to Chris Picks is that sometimes with fears, especially when we're stepping up to start a group, a circle, something to do with our priestesshood, our gifts, our offerings, our purpose, ourself. It doesn't even have to be in the spiritual realm, right? Sometimes what happens is we have all this fear and judgment and all these things come up because, and the biggest but or because about this is because we've reached a point in this lifetime where we're about to step up, where in a previous lifetime, at this same point, we were killed for our gift. Or perhaps, we were doing it and we were killed, and we're about to step up and start doing the same thing again, and we were killed for it, right? And so what happens in this lifetime, and that's why a lot of people, obviously some people work through the fears and other people get stuck, is because these past life fears are so strong, or these past life traumatic soul memories which are embedded in us. And unless you clear those, you kind of stay there, right? So my past life meditation is not in my free packs. You do have to purchase that. It's $33, I think, on my website. I think it's $33. And the way that I work that healing protocol, so if you what I'd recommend, use the shadow meditation, minimum 3 times. If you do once and you're like, no, I think I need to do 3. So do it every day for 3 days and then have a break, but make sure you're writing down the messages in your special journal. Okay, so important. And then after those 3 days, if you're like, no, still there, that's when you know, yep, I need to do this past life meditation. Now, some past life regressions leave you in a traumatic state. My past life integration and healing meditation is designed to heal through the whole process. It does not leave you in that traumatic state. Like, yes, it is a little bit traumatizing in a way that you see how you were killed, and that's important because sometimes people have really bad neck pain because they had a spear through the neck and that's how they died. Like, do you know what I mean? So we do purposely see how we were killed in that past life or how we died. Sometimes it's peacefully surrounded by a family. So we do see that, and I will give you that little heads up there. But the whole journey, I think it must be about 20-25 minutes, I think, that meditation. It's a whole journey that takes you through the whole process of healing. We release the past vows, like if we were married and we're stuck in those vows, or any vows that when you were dying you're like, I'm never doing this again, so it's like, this is why we're blocked, right? It also works for money blocks. If you're working through money blocks in your business and working through pushing through barriers, relationship issues, like there's so much we can use for it, right? So what I would recommend, Christina, is for you to do the shadow 1 time. Nope, do it 3 times. And you're like, yeah, no, I need that past life meditation too. So yeah. So yeah. Christina, I'm going through cervical cancer at the moment. So maybe there. Huge. That's huge. That is so massive. Did you know, I'll get to these other comments, I see them there. You can use a shadow meditation to speak to the cancer. You can use a shadow meditation to speak to the, your cervix itself. All of that, like, it's so powerful. And saying that, like I said, but the most powerful thing is to do it consistently. So for something like that first little healing protocol I just gave you, I'd work on that for the fears and your circles and just get that sorted, take the time to go through that. The next thing you can work on, and it might come up in the same thing, right, is, like I said, do the shadow meditation, and you could use the 30-day protocol that I recommended for Christina. For Chris, for Chris Picks, of 30 days, so Monday to Friday for a month. And the reason I say Monday to Friday is because we really want to have that integration break. Doing it for 30 days straight is intense, right? And we need that breathing space. We need that, integration. I call it a reality break. Yeah. So that wind's still here. Let me know if it's still breezy, because I'll go around the corner behind the sheds there or something. So just, let me know. I would definitely work with that, but I'm so glad you're here, because let's go through this together. Yeah. And in the Reality Awareness support group. So please make sure you're in there too. So Renee says, I feel like I need that badly. Yeah. So like I said, the Clear and Activate pack, and I'm going to move because this is really windy. Let me move. It was really still, but I'm just going to... Oh, is the wind not a thing? Okay, I think it's okay. Wind is not bothering. Okay, cool. As long as it's all right. I'm kind of hiding it, that's why I'm standing on the side, because it's coming this way. And the speaker's here. Microphone. Unless I face the other way like this. Okay, perfect. I'm going to stay here because... Let's get my face out of the sun. All right. Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys. All right, so perfect. Thank you. Yes, good. I hope the universe is pushing you out, Nita, because I think you should move out of that environment. I'm pretty sure I said that from the start. So, yeah. All right, so there's a lot of new people here, so say hi when you join. I know there's a lot of people there that have joined and said hi, and I've been in flow talking, so I wasn't purposely ignoring you. And someone had posted in about the praying mantis and said that it was angels or something. I saw that comment come up, and there's so many comments here, so hang on a second. That's okay, Nikki, had to go to work. I know my live streams can be long sometimes, guys. So if there's a replay of something you want to watch and you're like, man, 2 hours, Hannah? What I recommend is listening while you're multitasking, right? So if you're doing the dishes or you're hanging the washing out or you're driving, just put it on in your car. Like, 'cause you don't have to sit here watching me, like watch my face for like 2 hours, but you can listen to me, right? So there's always options to listen to those live streams. Oh, so Amber, thank you so much for putting that in, Amber Brashia. It's good luck, represents spiritualism. Yes, it means angels are watching over you and to give them your fears. And it's like climbing on my leg. Oh dear. Someone did ask what cards I'm using too. These are the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards. I'm very connected to Avalon, can you tell? Can you tell? Yes. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to... Nita says the Clear and Activate pack is amazing. Yes, it is. There's so much support in there. Yes. Different area, Nita. I read that. Yeah, Abby's asking, where did you get the bell tent? That's so awesome, right? Okay, so I'm ready for another round of yes, please, reading, please, or reading, please, yes, please. And I'll choose intuitively from the list. Amber says, I thought it was so cool because you were telling her to do the shadow meditation regarding the fear. I know, right? What are the chances? And I'm like, oh, it's just one of those long grasses. But I'm like, there's no long grasses. Not on my knee. Not on my knee. Alison, I wasn't ignoring you either. I saw you said earlier you're feeling really, I don't know if you didn't say scattered, but you said something like that. And I just wanted to say there's a lot of high frequency energy coming in at the moment, and that's only going to increase. And Transcendence Reality Society is how we really ground in this really high frequency energy. And there's, and it's like a really pivotal time. The point I want to share about this, because it's important for a lot of people, that if things are falling apart, if there's, like things are getting pushed out neater, this is the energy frequencies of now. This is like why that's all happening, because there is such a high frequency of energy flooding the planet that if you've been out of alignment for a long time and you haven't made the changes that you've intuitively known that you've had to make, you're going to get pushed out. Things are going to crumble and fall away, and you're going to be gripping on and trying to like hold on, and it needs to be let go of, right? So anything that is releasing from your system, please let it, right? And when I say your system, I mean your whole life. Okay, I'm just going to grab the other deck of cards. Oh, hey. Oh, we need collars for these black cats. Sometimes I can't tell them apart. The mama has come out. Midnight. I would show you, but it's just another black cat. It's just another black cat. Okay. Okay. I'm just questioning if I'm going to move because the wind is annoying me. I know you said that you can't really hear. Okay. Awesome for all these yes pleases. Let me tune in. So now I am using the daily guidance from your angels. Hi, Doreen Batchu. Okay, so yes, pleases got Marina Jennings and Virginia Nicholas Lane. And KA, that's me. Sorry guys, the wind is annoying me. Like, I don't mind the wind, but sometimes I get agitated when I've been in it too long. And I trust that the reception's going to be fine around here too. Because there's a tower just down there on the hills. Funny about that. And I don't have shoes on, so just bear with me a second. I hope that just stopped the wind. Okay. All right, different location behind the sheds I'm protected from is the wind. Okay, so KA, that's me. And I said, KA, that's me. I said Marina Jennings. And I said somebody else. Virginia, KA, that's me. So KA, Virginia, and Marina. KA, that's me. Opportunity to forgive. This situation brings you the opportunity to heal and grow and release negative patterns. Funny about that, what we're talking about today. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies, and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion as Dawn joins the live stream, because this is about self-love. This is about compassion. So KA, that's me. I feel this is so strong for you that you've been getting ideas that you need to change directions. Similar message to Chris Pics that I was sharing. You've been getting messages. There's the other one. See, all these black cats. You've been getting intuitive messages through your claircognizance. You've been having thoughts that have been really subtle, and it feels like it's getting to a point where you cannot ignore it anymore. And I feel like this opportunity to forgive is coming up because there's a block in your heart chakra, if I want to say it like that. And it's almost like you have an opportunity, and I'm curious, like, what's happening this weekend for you? I don't know. It feels like whatever's happening this weekend, I don't think it was last weekend just gone. I feel like this coming weekend is a significant sort of turning point for you. What are we today? Wednesday. So Thursday even. Thursday is a significant turning point, and it makes me wonder, it feels so similar to Chris Pics with the situation I'm picking up for you. Oh look, go for it. And lots of purple, yeah? So when I was picking up here around the crown and the thoughts that you've been getting, and they're kind of really subtle, but it's kind of getting louder, and it's kind of reached that point where you're like, I need to make a decision here. But what's happening is the block in your heart, an opportunity to forgive, getting lots of rose quartz energy for you. That's the forgiveness. That's being able to, like allow that love back in again. And so go for it. Yeah. Your prayers and positive expectations have been heard and answered. And it feels like the answer is yes, right? It feels like the answer is yes. And what you need to do is to trust the thoughts, trust your intuition, because they are guiding how your heart can heal. Now, it might not make logical sense to forgive that person or do that thing or go to that event or whatever, but that's going to like open up the energy, the space to be able to kind of break through those barriers about what you've been wanting to say, and it feels like you're quite shut down, or you have been because you've been holding back, like your heart's been closed out of fear of getting hurt again. But it's also in a sense of, what's the word? Like, you just don't want to go there again because like, well, I'm going to go through that again, right? But it feels like this is an opportunity for you to forgive, yeah? So that was for KA, but I'm going to say some more about that as well in a moment. So Virginia and Marina, just check these comments because I didn't. Sorry, I didn't see the comments there. Oh, another troll, is that? Oh, so KA, I've recently gotten out of a DV marriage and being harassed. Okay. Do you have a domestic violence order in place? So yeah, I'm curious if you have a domestic violence order in place there. And so this go for it, yeah, is like that. And I feel like this is where it's that, I can't do this anymore. Like, and so going through and getting a domestic violence order is a big deal, right? I know it's a lot of work, it's full on, but the freedom on the other side of that far outweighs the years that you'll be going through it. So I've had 2 domestic violence orders against my daughter's father when she was little. It was like the most horrendous 6 years of my life in a way, of course, as everyone's probably, well, not everyone, there's a lot of people who have experienced it. But that freedom on the other side of that, yeah. It keeps towing the line, not quite enough for an order, but police have been giving official cautions. Okay, yeah, so it's only a matter of time. It's interesting, I was like, so this weekend is an opportunity to forgive. So that makes sense, it's not really forgive, it's that boundary around the heart, it's that like sort of space in, that enables that freedom of the heart to open again and feeling safe, and that makes sense. So the go for it, no, I'm getting something else for this weekend. I feel like it's more an opportunity that allows your heart to open, and then all that stuff falls away as well. So I wonder then, that makes sense, you've shared that. I wonder then if you've been holding back doing anything else because you don't want to go through that again, right? You've kind of just, not only been shut down from all the abuse, etc., but also just, I don't want to open up, I don't want to explore, I don't want to, it's almost like it's blocked you from every area of your life in a way, right? Because we just shut down in all ways. So if there is a, experience that you can go and experience this weekend, I'm like, can you go for it? Because it feels like it's going to shift everything else. And now you've got all this happiness, joy back in your life. The focus on that is going to enable that to do whatever it needs to do. So remember how I was just showing before I moved the camera around, what was I sharing there? Hang on a sec. It was right there. Yeah. So like when we can focus on that good stuff, yeah, like when we do that and the crumbling with all the light and the platinum light that is like beaming through our universe right now, everything is crumbling. Like there is things crumbling that will enable you to, be able to focus on what you want, and all of that will fall away by itself. Like everything that's meant to happen to be able to protect you so that you can open your heart again. As you said, like he's towing the line, but I'm like, the line is this close, right? So I'm curious, do you have plans this weekend? You don't have to share, of course. If not, can you make them like fun plans or something? Like, you know, like something that's going to bring your heart alive and open you back up is the sense that I'm getting there for you. So that's KA. That's me. There is also Virginia and also Marina. So is Virginia and Marina still here? I'm just going to check that before I read. Midnight. Mimi. Mimi. Oh my goodness, Dawn. Really? Dawn, where did you walk? Oh, Dawn, come here. That's not fair. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, there's so many bugs in the hinterland. I don't know if I'm going to get used to this. Did you see her with the spider webs on her? Oh my God. It's so bad. There's like a tractor and stuff just there, like an old tractor. So she probably just walked in there somewhere. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. All right. Okay, so Virginia. Okay, so Virginia Marina's here. Awesome. So Virginia, I pulled this card just before for you. See only love. So, and I do want to ask Virginia and Marina, are you in a relationship now as well? Because I don't know, I picked all three of you for intuitive reason, I guess. So yeah, Virginia and Marina, if you can just let me know if you have, if you are in a relationship or not. I have 10 house cats. Oh, I don't think I'd be able to have them inside all the time. But anyway. Okay, so Virginia, see only love. And Virginia, I'm really curious about that for you because I feel like, oh my goodness, I was just about to say, I'm like, there's heartbreak here. There's heartbreak in the space. Husband just left me a week ago and Marina is married. Okay, awesome. Thanks for letting me know. So Virginia, I want to ask a stupid question. How are you feeling about that? Now, a stupid question, and it's not, because sometimes it's meant to be, and you know, of course you're going to be heartbroken. I feel like that. But sometimes, I said it's a stupid question, but sometimes people are like, it's over, it's done, I'm hurt, but I'm so glad it's over because, yeah, but then we flick back and we're upset and everything, right? Okay, heartbreak in the space. Now it's interesting because I was like, see only love, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then the next card I pulled was fresh air, which to me is always taking a break, yeah? And so I'm wondering if it's like truly over or whether this is just a break. And I feel like the truly over part is a sense of like the daydream card has come out, and this makes me say it's time to, this is going to sound bad because, not bad, I don't know what the right word is. I'm conscious of, okay, thank you for sharing this, I needed this there. Lots of heartbreak going on, okay, lots of heartbreak, okay, awesome, okay. So, oh, that's Lisa. Okay, so Virginia is different, okay. Yeah, so, okay. So I thought that Virginia had just put in that what Lisa had said there. So that's not the case though. So just let me work with Virginia for a second. So Virginia, because I was just about to say, you know, and this is where like Lisa's comment came up and I thought it was that. But because sometimes, as I said, a relationship will break up, and as much as we're heartbroken, devastated, we know it was the right thing, even though we're just still heartbroken, right? Because as Lisa's sharing here, everything that was stable, okay, and this is interesting, the husband left Virginia because this is the masculine structure of our life. It's the safety, it's the protection, as I always say, between masculine and feminine energies. The masculine is the structure of the house. The masculine is the support system. The masculine is the structure and the stability and the routine, and the feminine is the woman inside creating all the cooking and love and stuff and the movement, right, inside the house. If you look at a masculine and feminine balanced energy like that. So when a husband leaves, right, the structure, the the floor's just pulled out of your, the ground has just disappeared beneath you, right? Now, this is interesting because a couple of years ago, 2018 actually, so 2020, so 18, 19, 20, 21. So 3 years ago, oh my God, is that really bad maths? 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh my God, feels like 4 years ago though. So around this time, April, and this is interesting, yeah, because this is a really big energy shift that's going on right now. As I said, yeah, there's a huge influx of light energy. There's a meteorite shower coming up. There's an eclipse coming up actually next month too, just to like start the energy zamping up again. And so Midnight just wants to say hi because she keeps walking around my feet and she's like, you haven't picked me up yet. That's the mama. And so all these energies that are coming in, as I just said before, all the structures are like falling away beneath your feet, especially in a relationship breakup. Like your other half is gone, you know, the person that helped you do everything, the person that you had fun with, the person that you did all these things with, right? And all of a sudden that's just gone. The earth has just disappeared beneath the floor, right? Like there's no grounding, there's no footing, there's no nothing, like everything has changed, yeah? And so when, I don't know if you want to share or not, Virginia, but if you give me some more information, it kind of opens up the channels a bit there. But with this see only love, because I'm curious, that's interestingly, we left a toxic husband 2018. So see only love, that's why I was like, what actually happened? You know, because with this card, and this is why I was like, are they coming back? Like that was my kind of first, question. That's where I was like, okay, there's heartbreak, there's a break, there's fresh air, so take a break. But the daydream card for me is to go for your dreams, is to really have what you really want. And like I said before, like I guess I'm conscious of, like when I said it sounds bad, what I mean by that is I don't want to sit here and preach some spiritualistic, narcissistic bullshit and like, hey, like just go for what you want and it was a crap relationship and it left and blah, 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 blah. Like, I hate that stuff, right? So I'm cautious of what I'm sharing with you in a sense of like trying not to, like that's not what I'm talking about here, but the daydream card, and it makes me wonder then, if I say to you like, go for your dreams and actually have your dream life, and you might be sitting there going, Hannah, my husband just left. He was my life. Like, do you know what I mean? And so I'm really conscious of that, right? And this way I was sharing that, sometimes relationships break up, and even though we're devastated because that's the natural grieving cycle because you love them at some point, right? So, like I'm conscious that you as a magpie just flew over, which is the balance card, right? It's like, this was my life. This is my dream. Hannah, what are you talking about? So, okay, he said he has a lot of history that he's not dealt with, but now he says he needs to. Okay. And this is why I was like, what actually happened? Because this is a thing where taking a break, right? Whenever this card comes up, it's about taking a break. It's not necessarily the end. And this is why I was like, but what actually happened? And maybe I was getting confused in stuff because I'm like, but the daydream card's there. I'm like, so what is, so with this, I feel like there is hope, right? But in that process, it's like, I feel like you also need to let go, right? Which is probably not what you want to hear. But what I mean when I say let go is obviously bawl your eyes out and grieve and all that stuff, because that's the way we let go, is to grieve and howl. And it's like that, I call it piercing the veil's grief, that we are, like on the kitchen floor, curled up in a ball, like that. We can't take another breath, piercing the veil's deep grief. We feel it in our gut, like in our belly. It's like, it's so deep, right? You've been doing that. Okay, this is good. This is so good. This is so good because I'm covered in goosebumps. This is so good, okay? Because this is how we let go. Now, I'm not saying like grieve like that to let go of the relationship, but I am. And there's what I mean by the I am and I'm not, in a sense of like, if you can allow yourself to grieve like that, which is just like the best news ever, I know it doesn't feel good, right? But it's like for healing, and this, what I'm sharing is just like the best thing, okay? when you are howling like that and you are grieving like it's gone, because it freaking is actually, right, Hannah? It is. It's gone. When you're grieving like that, what actually happens is that, like, you're letting go, but you're also letting go of all the crap that has been in the relationship, all the fights, arguments, little bits of disagreement, and like that happens in every relationship, right? But you're also healing from the fact of this current thing about he's not there anymore, he's gone, right? You're also, like, tears, as I always talk about, is the most healing thing on the planet, and you're able to heal all that stuff that is also sitting there that you might not have known was there. And yeah, a relationship brings stuff up between two people, and it depends if they're willing to work on it and deal with it, or it sits there in the subconscious and starts edging away at people, right? Subconsciously, yeah? And so you howling and grieving and letting go like this is the most powerful thing you can do. I don't want to say getting back, and that's not why we're doing it, but what you're doing is you're clearing the energetic space between you both. You're giving yourself both freedom, right? You're allowing to leave with love. Isn't this interesting? Because that was the card I pulled for you, right? Was the See Only Love card, wherever I put it, was the See Only Love. And that's why I was like, what's actually going on here? There's heartbreak though. And so I'm like, what's going on? I need more information. So the See Only Love, but the fresh air, take a break, grieve like he's gone, because he technically is, right? And I wouldn't be grieving with the hope of coming back. I'm like, he's gone. Yeah? That's how you grieve, because you clear the slate between you both. You set both of yourself free, and in that freedom, you both have the choice to come back to live your dreams. Yeah? And it's interesting because as I was sharing all this highlight frequency, the meteorite shower coming up, the eclipses coming up, which always clears the slate, is that, like, now is a time for clearing karmic pasts. Now is a time for really, like, shifting through all the stuff, yeah? Like, and if you haven't been facing it and dealing with it, it's gonna shift for you. People are gonna walk out. You're gonna walk out. Stuff's gonna crumble. You're gonna you know this stuff has to shift, right? Virginia says, I so connect with that. He said he still loves me. I'm working on me. Ta-da! See? I was like, there's heartbreak, but there's See Only Love, and there's take a break. It's not walk away. So, okay, perfect. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. There we go. Yeah. So the other thing I just want to add to that as well is the fresh air, the grieving, the let go. This is where we start going into cat footprints. This is where we start going into clearing the slate, everything that you're doing. At the same time, now you might not do this every day because the grief is more important to get out first, right? But I would be journaling. Now, when I say journaling, I don't mean like writing all the bad stuff, right? If you're going to do that, which is good to do, get a clean sheet of paper with the intention to clear, purge session, all the bad stuff. Screw that up, put it in the bin, chuck it in the fireplace, whatever, release it. Do not leave that session until you write down 30 happiness thoughts, right? I am choosing to create the life that I want. I'm choosing to let in love. I'm choosing to heal my heart. I'm choosing to have the man of my dreams. I'm choosing to take responsibility for my life, whatever you want to say, right? Like, finish that session with that, okay? Now, the thing that I'm sharing this for is because the daydream card has come up. I choose to let in love. I choose to allow myself to be connected to love. I choose to have an amazing life. Like, this is creating it. And as I was sharing before, you're like clearing the slate of, with the grief, right? You're clearing the slate of all those built up arguments, of all those unspoken words between you, of all the generational karmic crap that's also in the space. Like, that's what this grief is doing right now, is clearing all that out. As you clear that out, there's space. There's space. And that's why I was like, can you go after your dreams now? Right? That's where that was coming from. So I think that that's a really important step for you, is to work on affirmations. You can simply get them from, I'm sure there's lots of different journal books and affirmations and blah, blah, blah. But an awesome one, I think it's just Louise Hay Affirmations or Hay House Affirmations, one of the two. It's a website, and specifically just all the affirmations. Of course, there's books and blah, blah, blah you can get, I'm sure. I'm working on a project behind the scenes too, which I'm excited about for later in the year, with the affirmations and everything. But the point is that those affirmations are really powerful to write down, pen and paper, write down. If you don't have time and you're a busy person, put in your earphones and listen to them on audios. Because as you clear the slate, when you do this healing work, we don't have to feel the space, okay? That's a bit of a contradictory statement. But when we're going through a deep traumatic situation, I feel like it's important to reset our mind and work on mindset, because people have been in big trauma, and I'm not saying that's you specifically, Virginia, but you know, like if we've come out of trauma and we've only lived a negative life, we do need mindset training, right? So yeah. So Jennifer says, I read Louise Hay, How to Heal Your Life and All Affirmations. I don't know, how freaking divine are they? Like, that was one of the books that opened up everything for me back in 2005. I feel like I know those affirmations off by heart. So yeah, they're so awesome, right? So yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So Virginia. All right, so Marina, you've been so patiently waiting. I'm going to do you now as well. And I saw some other comments come through, so I just wanted to... So Lisa says, I was just sitting on the shower floor doing that very thing today. So we just said, okay, awesome. Yeah, honestly, tears are so powerful and healing. And as I was sharing before, like this is... so potent. This time is potent for not only releasing everything, but also to create your life. Like, it's like the reading for Virginia, right? It's like, as we clear the space from all the old crap, from the generational stuff, from all the stuff, it's like so potent. The energies right now are so potent and so poised to help you manifest your dreams. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about with these energies. And you know, so yeah, but if you're in the grieving space, totally just be in the grieving space, because that's shifting everything out so you have the clear space, right? So yeah, not weird, just confirmation that you're on the right path, Lisa. Yeah. So Cheryl Lee says, I've messed up my dreams, like messed up. So I made a dream catcher and blinged out, and I don't remember my deep dreams. That's so interesting. That's so interesting. The dream catcher's catching them for you. That's interesting. Okay, just checking here. Yes. Yeah, so I just checking that comment there too from KA, that's me. So you said, that's how it was for me when I told my ex-husband to leave. It was upsetting, but it was a relief. Years of narcissistic abuse finally came to an end. Yeah, so for those of you who have been in a narcissistic relationship, I'm not sure if you've seen my live stream. Is your narcissistic ex holding you back from your life purpose? I think that's what I called it. If you would like to watch that, just write narcissistic on the live stream and I'll get that link sent to you. But it's like what I shared in there, and you don't have to watch it, but the point that I shared in there is that the number one reason that people don't leave their narcissistic ex, or they can't let go of it, or they can't get over it, the number one reason is because we're told that it's bad. We're told that it's the worst thing in the world, and that's really confusing for us, because our heart loves that person. Even though we're in all that stuff, our heart loves them. And so all these people say, I'll just get over it, or, you know, like, you shouldn't love them. And so we like hide that away. And like, you know, it's like grieving the loss of that love, even though it's unhealthy, toxic love. It doesn't matter at this point in time. Like, it's part of the grieving process that you make sure you grieve that part, that actually you did love them, and actually you had all these hopes and dreams and it didn't work out. And, you know, and there was good times, you know, like I think we get into that narcissistic spiritual label, which, you know, if you know me, I'm like all for labels, but I'm all for not labels, because they do keep us stuck. It's like go beyond the label once you understand the label, right? And so when you can actually grieve that, what we talked about, and work with my past life meditation to unhook the vows from each other. So it's another important tool when you're leaving a relationship, to work with the past life meditation. And you can do that 3 times. Wouldn't definitely do it, you know, every day for a month. That would be, don't do that with the past life meditation. But, you know, definitely 3 times when you're leaving a relationship, you can definitely do the past life like that to unhook those, you know, the string that you've had, you know, because you've been with them before, right? So, yeah. Yes. And as you say, KA, that's me. You said, now I just deal with him not wanting to accept that he's lost control over me. Yeah, there's all these stages of like walking away from such, right? So, yeah. Okay, so Marina, she says, heartbroken because our 18-year-old boy left home and we have not seen or heard from him in 10 days. That's hard. And Jennifer, I'm sending you lots of love too, because you say lots of heartbreak as well. I'm assuming because you are as well heartbroken. Oh, Katrina says, I had 15 cats. Have 15 cats. They killed all my houseplants. Now they are outside kitties. Yeah. Yeah. Mine go in. I keep them in at night time, but I definitely let them out in the day. I thought I was the only person with lots of cats. You know, I've never heard of someone with so many cats, and now I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not weird. Oh my goodness. Okay, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that. I fully thought I was the only one. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't feel so crazy anymore, of course, because you're my tribe and you're here. That's oh my goodness. Okay. So Virginia says, thank you so much. What was that book again? So Louise Hay. So if you type in Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, it will come up onto Google. Yeah. Or you can just say it out loud, like Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Do you know what I've started doing? I'm like, hey, AI, hey Siri, are you listening? I need help. Can you like get that book to come up in my feed, because I can't remember what it's called, but it's about blah, blah, blah. It's almost like I'm testing AI and I'm testing the thing, because it's always listening. Like, you know how like we'll be talking about something and then it'll come up in our feed. I'm like, oh, thanks AI. Just happened to be here for me. Right. Oh my God. Sorry. I do love AI. Dear. Okay. Yeah, awesome. I'll send you that link as well. So Jennifer says, my husband is an addict, and finally I told him I love him, but I love me more now. Yeah, that's the thing, right? This is the big shift. When we admit that we love them, which we know we do, but when we actually really admit it because society tells us that it's bad that we do, when we admit it, we're free. And then we're like, but I love me more. I love you, but I love me more. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So hard to do with soulmate. Yep. Even though he's claiming to get clean again, I'm so done. Yeah, when we do, we reach that point, right? We definitely reach that point. Yes, awesome. Lots of narcissistic comments in here. I shall definitely get my team to send you the link for that. Okay, my battery's starting to, got 10% left. Okay. So Renee says, I have heartbreak. Please, I need a reading. So hopefully everything on this live stream has helped you. And it's interesting because cats are about self-love. I'm like, I had another litter. I'm like, do I really need this much self-love? Do I need more now? Yeah, I love me more. Yes. All right. So is Marina still here? Nita, if you create it, it will happen. Okay. So I'm just going to check that Marina's still here, because I did say that I was doing her reading. She's heartbroken because her 18-year-old son left. Okay. Awesome. Going to read Marina because I've chosen 3 of you. So Marina, I wanted to ask you, what was the way that he left? Like he moved out and you didn't hear from him, or there was a fight and an argument and you haven't heard from him? If you can just give me that clarity, please. Yeah, give me that clarity. That's really important. The change in direction card has come up, which is like a no-brainer. But check out the image on the card. It's like the stork and the baby and the angel giving direction for the baby of where the baby's going. Your baby just left home and you haven't heard from him in 10 days. Is that what you said? I think you said that. So I'll just wait for you to let me know if it was a fight or if he just left home, Marina, like if he moved out because he was 18. So Natasha says, thank you, Hannah. Lovely hearing you. Very insightful. Could resonate with the readings even though I was not chosen. Yes, that's why I'm like, I can't get to everyone even though I want to. But yeah, if you listen, there's always bits and pieces there, right? Yeah, so just on the house move stuff, you can create it. Yeah, so you're creating your reality, the journaling. I'm so grateful for my new home. It's how I manifested this home. And I am showing that later on in the year. So Marina, a fight between his father and him. We know where he is and that he's okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, I wanted to check that, okay, because I was kind of sensing that, especially with this card. The biggest thing about our children is that sometimes parents don't grieve the fact that they've grown up. Now, I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, and you're like, but this is my child. Yes, it's your child. However, and this is so interesting, the change in direction, look, the little baby's pointing that way, and it's kind of like, I'm going this way, right? So when we go through the age developmental stages of growing up at that, kind of 7 to 8 years of age, that's a grieving point. At the 14-year-old, that's the grieving point. And obviously when they leave home, that's also a grieving point. So if we don't grieve the fact that they've turned into, when they hit puberty and then they hit, they hit puberty and they're not your little boy anymore, right? They're not your little girl anymore. Then that, if you don't grieve that, like the grief that we're talking about, maybe you don't get to the howling grief about that, but it's definitely, you need to grieve it. You need to grieve the fact that he's not your little boy anymore. Because if you do not, energetically, they will stay further away. Energetically, physically, they will want to not be near you, right? Because you are still treating them like a little boy, little girl, even though they're an adult. Now you might be like, no, I treat him like an adult, Hannah. Maybe you do, but energetically, there's the mum still holding on to her little boy, right? And so when you can grieve the fact that they've grown up, what happens is that the relationship actually gets stronger. Yeah, because there's not that the little mum inside holding on to her little boy or little girl, right? And you might not want to let go, right? But if you want a stronger adult relationship with your children, it's so important to grieve the fact that they've grown up. So for you, Marina, and that's what you said, you know where he is and he's safe. It's like, cool. So now it's time for you to do the inner work on this, on letting him go. A bit like Virginia, so interesting, right? So similar messages. Grieve the fact that he's gone, and grieve the fact that obviously there's a fight and how did this happen or whatever. Everything that comes up, because the more that you can grieve the fact, especially that 7 to 8 year old point, I know it was a long time ago for you now, but in your teenage years, and he's not your little boy anymore, he's a grown man. And when you can grieve that energetically, it's going to shift that and he'll naturally come back in a way. You know what I mean? You're clearing all that and that little mama's boy, there's nothing wrong with that. Please know I'm not being mean or anything when I say that, but energetically, and that repels people, right? It's a needy little energetic. Does that make sense? So when you can grieve that, the bond actually becomes stronger because you're accepting them for who they are now, and they energetically feel that from you. It's not the still little boy thing inside, if that makes sense. So that's what I'd be working on there, especially because you know where he is, especially because even though you haven't heard from him, you know where he is and he's safe, right? If you haven't heard from him and he's like a missing person, I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying to you now, right? But because you said that, I'm like, you need to grieve that. You need to grieve that, if that makes sense, right? So, yeah. Okay, my phone is about to die, so it must be time to finish the readings as well. And yes, cats are about self-love. That is, in the liquid crystal, cats are connected to the crystal rhodochrosite, and every liquid crystal has an animal totem connected to it, and cat is the liquid crystal rhodochrosite. Did I say that? Yeah, cat is the animal totem for that, if that makes sense. So if this cuts out, it's because my phone's died, but I'm going to keep talking to these comments here. Yeah, you're so very welcome. KA, that's me. It's been so lovely to have you all here too, by the way, and meet you. I know there's a lot of people here for the first time. So love having you here. Thank you for being here. And I really would love to get to everyone, but it's just not possible with so many on the live stream. So I always say, if you're listening, just always keep an ear out, because I always have messages. You can always pick something up, right? So yeah, you're so very welcome. So Lenora says, is this heaviness, stagnancy a part of transcending? I feel like so many things happening or need to be completed, but I have zero energy days. Everything feels like weight, not getting anything done, so much clutter. Yeah, so Couple of things. Number one is exercise. If you force yourself to exercise, meaning force yourself to walk around the block, force yourself to go to the gym, force yourself to get out of the house, energy creates energy. Movement creates movement. Yeah. So the more you're moving your physical body, daily exercise, even just around the block, even because sometimes we're like, exercise, oh my God, I just don't feel like anything, right? But if we can go for a gentle walk around the block and be conscious, I'm starting to move the energy. I'm starting to move the energy. Like, this is what you're telling yourself, right? You're going to start to move the energy. And I bet you after you come home from that walk, you might just clean up the kitchen a little bit, or you might just do something, right? And you're going to shift the energy. Something with this heaviness and stagnancy as well, make sure you're clearing your energy. So in that Clear and Activate pack is the internal compass chakra clearing meditation. Please listen to that. You can have that on repeat while you're doing the dishes. It is something that you can do multitasking. You can listen to it while you're sitting there for the first time, just so you know like what it is that I could take you through. But then you can have it on repeat while you are doing the dishes, or while you are watering the garden, or whatever it is that you do. Because the more that you do that, the more you're going to clear your energy, the more that heaviness that might be someone's energy from 2 days ago at the shop or something, you might still be carrying that and you don't even know, and then that starts weighing you down, and that's heavy, and you just don't feel like doing anything, and blah, 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 blah. Clutter, external clutter in your house will shift when you clear the internal clutter. Yeah, when you do the inner spiritual work, when you clear your energy, when you work with my meditations, you clear and shift inside you, and naturally you're like, I don't want this stuff sitting here anymore, and you'll just quickly clear it, and it'll be like, oh, well, that was easy, right? Because you've cleared inside. So I wouldn't focus on the external, I would focus on this. Movement creates movement, listening to the meditations, and really being able to move the energy from the inside out, right? So, but there is, like I said, there's a heavy grief. There's a lot of people, a lot of stuff stagnating and shifting out, right? So there is that combined, but how you can support yourself to move with the lighter energy frequency that's available to people right now is to start moving your body. Yeah, start there is what I'd recommend. So Katrina says, sometimes the only way a teenager knows how to be able to walk away is to wait for a fight and run. Doesn't mean they don't love you. Maybe it was hard for him. Yeah, and that's so true, Katrina, because, depending on the relationship, the communication in the household, the communication growing up, the understanding of needs, etc. Like, yeah, definitely. And it is hard, especially, depending on the situation too. If it's 18-year-old and the father, like, you need to get a job or whatever the story is. I have no idea what actually happened, but it's a lot of pressure for a child when they just finish school and they don't actually know what they want to do, but society and family is like, you have to do this thing. That's why I got in the car when I was 18, and I ended up on the other side of Australia, and I've been here ever since. Now I've got all these beautiful cats. Oh, don't even go with that and on the cats. It's a whole story. You're so welcome, Marina. You're so welcome, Julie. Yes, Renee.